Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lee. In my previous video, I've demonstrated how you can use NixOS Anywhere and Colmena to manage your NixOS virtual machine remotely. In the comments section, one of the viewers asked me if they can do the same for LXC containers. So I did a bit of testing and it turns out to be much simpler than I thought. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can build an image to start a NixOS LXC container and how you can manage that using Colmena on Proxmox. Let's get started. First of all, let me open my terminal. And I'm going to the temp folder and create a new folder called LXC. Next, we need to have a flake to help us build this image. I have prepared a flake template for you. You can get it with nixflake init-t GitHub. My username, flake templates, add server. And then let's open it with a text editor. Okay, so let's have a look what we have on this flake. So first of all, we are targeting the NixOS unstable channel for our NixPKGS. And I've got Colmena and Disco here. This is the same flake template that I use for the NixOS Anywhere and Colmena. The extra information on this flake is the NixOS generator, which I have it in output and then use its function to create this LXC package. This package is pretty straightforward. It's targeting the x86 Linux system, and it need to import a configuration.nix as the module, and then the format for the output of the package will be Proxmox LXC. Okay, so now let's create this configurations.nix. So on this file, we can have pkgs, and we can do users.users.myuser with is normal user true, and I want this user to be part of the sudo group, so I will do extra groups and then pull wheel and network manager here. And moving on, I will also add some OpenSSH key to this particular user. So it will be OpenSSH authorized keys, and then the keys I will grab from my Git repository. So you can find all these configurations from this Git repository. It's public. You can see here I'm actually converting my existing tool server, which is the one server hosting many applications, into different LXC containers. So some of the applications make sense to run on server, like Hashcode Vault. I put it on the server. But others like Redis, I just put it as a LXC containers here now. For this particular one, I want to get the share, go to default, and I will just copy this whole log here. Go back to our editor. All right, should just paste it here instead. All right, so the next thing we need is to have the system state version. Okay, let's format. So we've got this Nix settings trusted users here. This is useful because I'm going to build all my packages on my local and host machine and then copy to the remote LXC containers. The last thing we need is just to use sudo without password. That's pretty much all we need. Okay, so one thing we need to do is to remove this one for now. We will add it back later on. And let me go back to my terminal and we can do nix build LXC. Okay, we can see the build is successful. Let's have a look what we have. So let me do ls-la. We can see the results is in this particular Nix store. We can also see from here, basically it just builds this tarball here. And next we are going to use this tarball on our Proxmox. Let me go back to my Proxmox. And so this is one of my Proxmox machine. Go to local and go to CT templates, and then we can click upload, select files, and paste in our location of the Nix store, and select tarballs, go to the one, and then we can do upload. All right, so the task is complete. So next one, we will need to create our first LXC containers. So create CT and put an ID, whatever you like, and password, and then next, I need to give it a name. Let's call it demo. Nix template. Let's select the one that we just created. 8 GB of the disk is good enough. 1 CPU, 512 memory. So for the network, I need to use a special MAC address because I have already bind the IP address to it. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here is the MAC address, and I will select DHCP for IPv4. Next, finish. Okay, so this task is completed. Let's just cross this out. Go back to our LXC container. We can start this container now. Alright, it started. So let's go back to the terminal. We should be able to just SSH to this particular machine. So that's normal because I've got this previous key. I will just remove that. And let's do it again. The start time of the LXC container is really quick. I noticed that when I hit the start button, it's almost instantly I can access the container. Anyway, as you can see here, we are SSH into this LXC container, and it looks very similar to a NixOS virtual machine. So in the next part, I'm going to show you how you can use Colmena to actually manage these LXC containers. So let me just exit, go back to our editor. I don't need this anymore. So go back to our editor, and we are going to do a little bit of a copy and pasting here. So the first thing I need to copy is the home manager side. So I will have the home manager side, and I will also copy the shell to use the ZSH as our shell. Of course, we need to enable this shell globally, per system, I should say. That's about it for the default. And because our home manager used this home.nix, we need to create this file as well. So home.nix. I will just copy the whole thing. Let's try again. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. It's just configuring the ZSH a little bit with the power level 10K thin, whatever, with a few key bindings. Okay. The last thing we need is the container config. So let's go back to containers, defaults. So this is what we definitely need in order to make it work. So this is the file that I've got from the NixOS generator. And if we go to format, Proxmox LXC.nix, so you can see it's got this format attribute file extension. I just remove these two and keep the rest. So we definitely need that. So let's just copy that and let's just call it lxc.nix. And we will import this one back to our machine through Flake, so which is here, right? And we don't need this code in this case, but we do need home manager. Sorry, I need to have the home manager as the input, so I will just copy from here, go to the top. Okay, and we need home manager in the output as well. And also as the module for NixOS. Manager.NixOS modules.home manager. We also need to change the name of the how do I say, the target as the LXC, and the target host LXC as well. And that's about it. But the target host, you need to make sure this is the same that listed on your SSH profile. So let me just double check. Okay, so that's correct. So I'm going to deploy our changes to our LXC container. So what I would do is Colmena applies on LXC. Alright, so we can see the deploy is successful. Let's have a look. Okay, as we can see, we SSH back to the server and using ZSH with the power level 10K theme. So you can use Colmena to continue deploying your applications to this server going forward. I've got a few examples here. So these are independent applications, I should say. And one thing I noticed for LXC containers that is different is for running the Vault. So if you use Vaults, you will need to disable the mlock because it's container environment, I guess. So it's a little bit different. Other than that, you can even run Docker inside Docker. So I also have an example here, which you can configure the virtualization OCR containers inside a LXC container, just like what you do with a virtual machine. Okay, so that's how you can use the LXC containers, I guess, but it would be very, very similar to virtual machine in my experience. So if you say I want to package my ZSH as the base image, how do you do that? It's actually pretty straightforward. So just go back to our flake.nix and import the home manager.nixoS modules.home manager, and then rebuild your image, and that's pretty much all you need to have the base image with ZSH and the key bindings. Okay, so that's all I want to show you today. If you have any questions or any ideas, I would really love to read your comments so I can have some inspirations on what to explore next or show you next. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.